Welcome back, everyone. Today we're in the Giants editor, and I'm Jewel. And as you can see, we are going to do the BGA, and I'm going to show you how to get it in the XML so that it'll appear in the game. But there's more than one part to this. I'm not sure if y'all have seen in game for a while. Some of you probably have, some of you probably haven't. There's basically different components to the BGA, and you'd have to bring them in different XML files. So you'd have a weighing station over here. You have um, the mixer, which is this. It has the triggers. It has those little spots here and there as well. Where this is where you drive up on it and dump it in the top of here. Um, on the in-game one, it has a shed over here, and obviously it's facing a little bit different direction. And it also has these bunkers, which I've not put them in place yet. I've not flattened the ground, got any of that ready. I'm going to do that later. That's not something I'm worried about doing on this episode. I don't want to make the video super long. It'll just be piece by piece that we do this. But I want to show you what you need to do basically to bring in the parts you need and that kind of thing. And I will be obviously adjusting the road and the ground and all that as we go. As you can see, that's dipping. Alright, so what we're going to do is say that you don't have, now I did do a previous episode showing you how to get this building and how to get it in here. And if you want to do that part of it before you get to this part, go ahead and bring it in and then come back to this video. I have a video, probably a couple of them before this one. Just look in the playlist and you'll find it. Now, a quick recap, just briefly. Basically, you're just going to go ahead and go in the main game, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm not going to show you. I want to keep this short. You're going to go in the main game file area, open the main game map, okay? And I'll just highlight it to show what it looks like. It's going to say FS22 data, maps, map US, map i3D, and then you're going to go to the BGA. You can click on it, and it'll be in the buy and sell points area. You'll open that under Elm Creek, and then you'll come down and you'll see BGA area. And now you can see what would be here. Now I'm going to show you briefly what would be here. So you would have a building here. We could add that if we want. We don't have to. And then there would be bunkers that I showed you that I didn't mold the ground for over here. And then you basically would drive up to the back side of this, and right over here would be your trigger, and you would dump off into this, which would be one of those mixers, the stuff you need to mix. Now, let me go around. You also have a spot here that's a trigger that does stuff, and then this is where the weighing station would be. And then you have another trigger that would be roughly over here somewhere. And pretty much you need to get those things if you want those things in the map. But those are all separate. So what you're going to do is obviously click on the buy and sell points if you want to get every single one of them, and take it and export it, put it in your map, and then import it into your map. Like export it into your file explorer. I'll just click on it and show you. We're going to go here. Basically, you go Documents, My Games, FS22, Mods, the map name of what you're working on. Pick a folder to put it in, which in my case I put a buy and sell points, and you can put it in here. And you just basically, that's what you would do. You would click File while it's highlighted, Export Selection with Files, go through all those paths to get to it. I ain't gonna do it, but I'll just take you there. And you go and you make you can go back one. Let's see. You can make a new folder. Just click New Folder, title it Buy and Sell Points. Open that new folder up to where it'd be empty like this, but it'll say this Buy and Sell Point. It would be empty. you would click here in the file name box, and then you would write buy and sell points. Then hit save, and yes and yes. Okay, but I'm not going to do that because I already have it. Now that'll only get you what you see highlighted, all that. Then once you're in your map, you can hit import, and then you'll go back to that spot, which I'm not going to do, but you go through documents, my games, all the way to your map, right back to that folder you just made that says bind sell points, and then click on the BGA that you just put in that folder, and then click open, and then it'll bring it into your map. Okay? If you need a visual, look back on the last episode. Okay? Now, we also need the mixer, and you can see it opened right up to it, but I'm going to take you to the path of it. And then we'll also need the weigh station if we want that here, and so on. And there's another little machine that sits here, somewhere over here, and I forgot what it's called. I'll have to look. But if you want all that, you got to bring it in, and we have to have these triggers or it will not work in game. The building will be there, but this part won't. Another thing, excuse me, this ring around here is also another i3D, and it's called the FR one. Okay, so for whatever reason they put this one attaches it to here, and it's not separate, but the FR map must separate it for some reason. I don't know why. The rocks look a little different on both of them. So, and it doesn't call it the i3D when we put it in the XML for that FR one. I didn't even see it calling it whenever we went in the other FR map. So, but anyway, so here you go. Make sure click on BGA area for your whole entire thing, and then put it into place like I showed you on the last episode. I'm not doing all that. Make it flat. Get it exactly right. Okay, and then we're going to bring in these mixers. Okay, and so which has the triggers. So we're going to go to File and Import. Now it brought me to it, okay, but if you know anything about when you're watching these videos, if you'll look up here, you'll see the path. FS22, Data, Placeables, Plan ET, BGA1, MW. So that's where we would go. Okay, so go to wherever your map is, your main game is on your computer, your FarmSim simulator game. So it could be under C drive, it could be under D drive. Mine's under D drive. Steam Library, Steam Apps, double click, Common, double click, FarmSim22, double click, Data, double click, Placeables, double click, and Plan ET, double click, BGA1. Okay, these are different ones. This is the one that's on the Elm Creek, and that's the one I'm putting on my map. And you notice it has this one, and that's just those rings of rock that I show you around these little buildings. Okay, but we want this mixer one, the mixers. So we're going to click on it, highlight it, and click open. It's going to bring it in the map. I don't need it, but I'm just showing you. As you can see there. And you're going to hit Control B as in boy, left mouse click, and bring it into where your area is for your BGA. And then you would figure out where it would need to be put. So you're going to shift it around. And if you'll go look in your in-game on Elm Creek, you'll see where to put it. You'll go in-game, and I looked, and you can see, let me get over here. You'll see that this is about how far away from here it is. You got to make sure these touch the ground, because they're going to be in the ground. Then you got to make sure these little feet are sitting down on the concrete good. And you got to make sure it's pretty straight, like that. And then the triggers, they're straight. You know what I'm saying? So basically, you would take, and this right here goes on this side. So you simply bring it over. You would twist it till you got it where you thought it should be. It's probably going to be at 90, so you'd put 90. And then over here, type it into the rotate Y over here in the attributes area. And then drag it back. And then you would find where it needed to be, and you go look, and go down there and look and just kind of follow where you think it was. Okay, it ain't gonna have to be 100% perfect, but you're gonna want to get it as close as you can. And basically, you just keep shifting it till you see where you think it should go. You know, and you can see that one's over a little, so whatever. But that other one wouldn't be there, so you wouldn't have that to go by. You would be measuring from here to here. You'd be watching this. This would be the best thing to watch, is this. So you could line this up kind of with this, and you would know you're good, you're okay. And then just make sure that these things sit on the concrete, and make sure it's square with this, like so. Like make sure that's equal on both sides, and then make sure the triggers lay out on here, and make sure that the triggers either go under a little or whatever. They got to be right at that point so that it works when you get on there. But anyway, I ain't gonna do the bunkers, those are separate, but that's where they would be stuck back there. And then once you have it situated exactly where you want it, and if you look over here and you're satisfied that these are where they should be, and you come over here and you're satisfied, because see, it's supposed to be at the foot of this, and that's about right. As you see, it'll be about right here on the Elm Creek one. And technically you don't have to put them in the exact spot, but we are, since we're just duplicating the main one. We're not worried about making it in another spot. You technically could put it in wherever it lands, and then just figure it where it would, you'd build the ground up somehow where you can dump in it. Alright, so say that's it, we're good to go. Say we got it in the right spot, we're happy. Okay, now I'm gonna say we're happy, but I'm gonna delete that one because I already have one. Okay, so you don't gotta delete it yet. Okay, so I'm gonna delete it just because I don't need it. Alright, now we got it all in there. It's happy where it needs to be, right? Okay, now we need to add it to the Placeables XML folder. But in the meantime, we're going to hit save and save the map. And if you're working on, as far as I know, I'll let that do its thing real quick, it's spinning. As far as I know, if you're working on a new map, a blank map, and it don't have any farmlands, you want to fix it where you can at least have this have a farmland. So I already made it so that this one has a farmland. Let me see. There we go. And you can see I already have a farmland for it. But basically, if you don't know how to do that, go back to my video on farmlands. But essentially, when you click on this info layer, paint mode, and this big old square, you can have it smaller, obviously. You click Control R over that spot, and in my case, it's marked. But yours might be all white or all whatever color, probably purple or whatever color it started out as. Or it could be all the Elm Creek ones because you didn't change any of that and you did it from the mod map, and it would be all the Elm Creek ones, like all the little shapes that they have. But anyway, you would come in here, and in this case it's on Farmland 11. But you would need to watch that video. I'm not going to go through the details. But basically you can, if you could hit Control R on this spot and that color was there, it'll take it and give it to you, and then you can left click here, which I'm not going to do, and you could make it bigger because I'd have to add in these little bunkers because I didn't add them in for later, so that when you bought this place it adds that in. But you may have to do this part. But if you do, once you watch that video, you should be all set. But then you would have to come up here to Scripts, Map, and then click, after you paint the ground where you want your farmland, and then hit Create Ground Collision Map. At least that's what I do. And then you should be good, and then let it do its thing. It takes a minute. Don't mess with it. Don't click. Leave it alone. When it's finished, hit save. Let it do its thing. Make sure it saves. And then you should be alright on that part. Now we would go on to add the XML to our map. So let's go on into our map, and we're going to go to Documents, My Games, FS22, Mods, and the map you're working on. And in my case, it's in the XML folder here. My placeables folder is. You go wherever your placeables XML is. If yours is not like mine and it's in a folder that looks like this, you go under Maps, Maps US, and then you'll find your placeables XML. Okay, so that's where you'll find it. I'm going to go where mine is, you go where yours is. Alright, I'm going to double click on XML, left click on placeables, right click, and hit edit with Notepad++ or Notepad if you don't have that. Opens up to your placeables, and as you can see I already have it in here. And let me see, let me go to the bottom. Bunker silo, okay, we already had one bunker silo, but anyway, you're gonna need the coordinates, and I'm gonna go back to my map and show you. Okay, we'll turn that off because we don't want that on. We're gonna click back on the mixer. Make sure we put it at the BGA 1MW, the full part of the mixer, like the whole group. And you can see what it says here, these numbers here. So what you're going to do is on the Translate X, put the cursor at the end of the numbers, hit Shift Control and C, as in cat, and you're going to click back on the Notepad++. And as you can see, it's already there. But you would click here, you would go down here, like so, and let go right in front of these quotation marks, and then right click and hit paste. Okay, it's already there, so it didn't do anything on mine, but you know. And if you didn't have this line in here, you would need to go grab it from the main game placeable. So let's go do that if you don't already have that, which you probably don't, but you probably do if you have a main mod map that you already started it from. If you're not working on a blank map, you probably already got it, and all you got to change is the coordinates, the position and rotation. But for the people that don't have it, go back to the main game through Steam Library, Steam Maps, Common, FS22, Data, and then you're going to go to Maps, and then Map US, or whichever map you're working on. You're going to go to Placeables, click on it, highlight it, right click, and edit with Notepad++. And as you see, there's a line in there that says BGA 1MW. You will come to the end of it, highlight, left click, and drag over holding left mouse button down all the way to here. Now you wouldn't want it to do like that one did. It grabbed up higher, so you got to make sure you get to the end of it right there. And drag it over, make sure it's just that line, okay? And then you're going to right click and click copy. And then you're going to click off of it. And you can close that out because you don't want to mess up your main game map. So I'm going to close it. And when I did, it put me back in my placeables, so I can just paste it in. But if you don't get back into your placeables and you can't remember how to get there, go back to your File Explorer, go to Documents, My Games, FS22, Mods, the map name, go to your XML file, go to the placeables, right click, edit with Notepad++, and there you are. You're back in the place you need to be. Now what you're going to do is pretend that line isn't there, or none of this is here, or depending on where you want to put your line, you would put it at the end of, say, one of these that has a closing, it's called a closing tab. So you want it to be at the end of this, so you would click here and then hit enter. Okay, so up here we don't want to go down there, we want to stay up here where these smaller ones are, so we would put it at the end of that in that case, because it doesn't have that other option. And we're going to hit enter, and it brings it down one, as you can see. And then we would click at the front of it, right click, and click paste. And then if you want, you can adjust these little file name things. You can click there and line it up. You can click here in front of position and backspace it. It's up to you. You don't have to. Alright, you can come over here, space that over, like make it neat looking. And basically you would put these lines, these numbers from the Giants editor into the one you just added, this one here. So these that I was working on, you would put here, and the one you just added. Okay? So I'm going to delete that one because I already have one, but that's how you get one. If you don't have one, delete, and then I'm going to backspace it to get it back up there. And now all I got to do is you go ahead and get that first set of numbers like I showed you, and now I'm fixing to grab my second set of numbers. Okay, so we're going to go back to the Giants editor on my map. I'm going to click at the rotate X box right there, and like you see here, this one has 89.448. Technically, you could go on and round that off to 90, and change that. Let me see how much it moves. I think that's okay. And go in there and look and see if everything looks okay. If it didn't move it too far. I think it's okay. Yeah. Yeah. It looks okay to me. Alright, so that makes it a little smaller numbers. And then you're going to go back. You're going to click at the end of the rotate X and you hit Shift Control C as in cat. Click back on the Notepad++. Click at the rotate box between the quotation marks. Right click and click paste. Now mine just changed. Okay, so I'm going to hit save because I did have a change. And you can see we got our 0, a 90, and they added a few numbers, and then a 0. Okay, now we don't. I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to go to my store items. Check something. Right click, edit with Notepad++. And we're going to look up here, and we don't have one of those store items for that in here. And I want to show you that. We'll go to the main game one, and you'll notice they don't have it in there either. So my thinking is that we don't need it. But if for some reason you have any problems and you did everything else right and you need to add a store item, just add it. Just don't worry about it, just add it. But I feel like it doesn't need it, so I'm going to show you their store items. And you'll see they have all this other stuff, as you can read it, but they don't have that. They got all these wagon things, train things. They got selling station, the other one, the gas station, the vehicles one, the trigger, the water fill. They got the tree stuff, the bush, whatever, all that. They got the farm barn. They got these other things, but they don't have that. Okay, so I'm gonna say we don't need it. All right, so I'm not gonna add it. All right, so. But if you have an issue, go on and add it. Now I'm going to go back to my map, and I think I need to hit save again because I moved that. So I'm going to hit save. And like I say, remember to go ahead and add your farmland in if you don't have anything to test it by, because you will have to, you might have to buy that. And it is a specific one that has that about the BGA in it, talking about buying it with the farmland. But I am going to show you real quick before I go in the game to show you. Let's go back to D drive, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, Farm 22 data, placeables. Where were we? Plan ET, BGA 1. Here is all the information. And this is the XML file. If you edit with Notepad+ on it, you'll see it has all this in here. It has the name, it has the price, it tells it to show and store false, it tells where it came from, the brand, placeable. It just tells all about it, okay? And then it tells the i3D. But notice it's telling the mixer i3D and not the building i3D. Like some of the garage ones would be the garage i3D because it would be connected. And then it would have the doors or something somewhere else down here. This one's just the mixer. and you'll notice it calls these icons for you, and you need that, so it's going to call all that. So that XML that you just put in your placeables folder, which is right here, this XML is calling, going to data, placeables, plan ET, BGA 1MW, BGA 1MW.xml, and that is where we just looked, right here. Data, placeables, plan ET, BGA 1MW, BGA 1MW.xml. Okay? And then this is the mixer's i3D that it's calling. So if you was to open this, it's calling this here. See that mixer one? It's asking for that i3D in the main game folders. So you're calling all this from the main game, and it's not calling the FR one, which is just those borders, okay? But it is calling the store information. So that's how that works, okay? So now we can click off of that, minimize it. We already saved. We should be all set. Now we're going to go on in game and give it a test. So now I do have to have enough money to buy it. So either have a mod in there that you can cheat some money in, or hopefully, I think our map gives more than the main game map on money. So I might can get enough money to buy it, to test it. I'll try. I don't have a mod in there right now. I'm going to delete this. Go in under 15, number save game 15. Go to my map, this in here, and hit start. And we should have it in there where the trigger and all that is. Now we won't have the weigh-in station or any of that, but I'll do that on another episode. And then we'll add in and I do have a video about the BGA bunker on the main farm. You can watch it to how to add that in. But I will add it, do a video of me adding it later at the BGA place. But I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I appreciate every single subscriber. Welcome to the channel. And if you have any questions, ask them. If I know the answer, I'll tell you. If I don't, I usually look into it and try to figure it out. And hopefully I can help somebody. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything about it. And if I make a mistake, I'll let you know. Or I'll delete what I make a mistake of or redo it or whatever. So I'm just trying to help as best I can and work on my map at the same time. So hope everybody enjoys. Go ahead and smash that like button if you like the video and subscribe. And now we're going to jump in the game. And here we are. You see all the icons? And let's run on over here. We'll go this way first. Now I got to smooth all this out, obviously. But you can see it's flat up here. We would have the bunkers over there. And then you would drive up and dump what you got to dump. And if we had to, we can move that back further. And we would have to change the XML if we have to. But as you can see, it looks okay. We'll go over here, and I got to fix that, as you see. But I'm going to go here, see it says buy production point, hit R, and it's that. Now we don't have that much money, so I got to go borrow some. Let me borrow, oh, I accidentally hit save, that was my bad. It's not what I was trying to do. This is what I was trying to do. I'm going to try to get through it quick as I can. Maybe I should do the keyboard. It takes a while. Alright, come on, give me the money. I'm gonna have to sell some of the equipment, I believe. I don't think it'll give me enough. I think it gives me like 1,200 and something. I mean, that 1,200,000 something thousand, whatever it was. I can't remember. It gives me something, but it don't give me enough. There we go. That's what it gives me. So now I gotta X back, hit P, not that, hit this, sell some of this. I don't know what'd be more expensive. Oh, that's pretty good. I gotta get up to that 1,500 mark, so I'm trying to sell some stuff. Alright. Yes, we want to sell you. Yes, we gotta sell you. Now I'm not gonna be testing it, but as far as doing anything to it. We'll just go on and sell this too. That's not very much money though. We're already there, so let's go back in there. Hit R. Hit yes. Now we bought it. As you can see, all that worked. And you can see it says missing materials. That's normal. It's supposed to say that. If you'll look in your Elm Creek game, that's what it says on their map as well. So that's normal. Then you got this one, says the same thing. It's just telling you what it needs. And there would be a way station here. And there would be a garage over here. And this one says missing. But that's normal. It's supposed to say that. You can make invisible, this line. So don't worry about that. You can make that invisible in the Giants editor. But actually, you're supposed to delete that. I need to go out and show you, but you're supposed to delete that after you do it, or put it in a placeholders folder. So let's jump back in, because we need to go ahead and do that. I want to show you on this video. But anyway, that's how you get it in there. Let's go on out. I ain't gonna do all the extra stuff to it. You need to delete that. My bad. I should have said that. I forgot, because we've been having them in the placeholder folder, but I didn't put that one in there. So if you don't have a placeholders folder, just delete that. Let's get on out of here. Go back to the Giants editor, and you see what we've already put these numbers in the XML. Once you put that in the XML, you can delete this or put it in a placeholders folder. My placeholders folder is up here somewhere. Actually, I think I passed it. It's down here. Here it is. You can hit the middle mouse button, hold it down, drag this up, and let go of it in the placeholders folder. And if you do that, it's in there. It'll hide that one. It'll hide those lines and the triggers and all that and this other stuff, and it'll only call it from that XML. Now, if you don't want to put it in a placeholders folder, you're going to hit delete on that and delete it. And hit save. Let it save, and then you can go in the game and test it, and then you should be good. And remember, don't close this map out. And if you don't close it out, you can always come back after you close it, like after you go in game and close the game, you can come back and hit undo if you didn't like that. You decided not to. So that's just one little tip. Don't close your editor unless you have to, because your computer can't handle running all that, then that's fine. And now later we'll add the way station. There's also another little thing that we'll add that's right here that goes like somewhere along here in the Elm Creek one. But anyway, it's called the biogas something, I think, or I don't remember, something, but it's some kind of station. But anyway, I'm gonna call that an episode here. That's how you get it in there, and to get the XML to do what it needs to do. And like I say, anytime you have any problems and you can't get something to work after you did all that, just throw a store item in there and see if it works. Always go to your farming simulator game area, my games, Farm Sim 22. Go to your log, right click, edit with Notepad++. Yes, and always go through and check all this for any kind of problems. Those are normal problems. That's the regular map problems. That's not my map problems. And then you see all that's normal. All normal. So that's a way to test it and see. But anyway, we're going to call that an episode. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on your notification bell if you want to receive a notification every time I post a video. Goodbye, everybody.